We're at the HQ, baby. Atlanta, Georgia. Run it back. Run it back. Oh, wait. Remix.
PPP, you done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3. But Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we're talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on card stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt. Cause the market's down and you're down, it's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with the bullshit. Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit. Jeff Wilson. Did you dip me out? I think you dipped you out. What you talking about? I don't think you did, deal. It's just a shady shit like a GOBs, like it's wholesale thing with the mid-FTs. Taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money, even better tax-free. Loving all stimulus, the PPP. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Thursday night, a very special edition of Sports Card Radio, the National Sports Collectors Convention in Cleveland, Ohio. The Mistake by the Lake. They're going. I think they went to Atlantic City one year. Now they're making you guys go to the Mistake by the Lake. That is next week. We have a very special edition, though, of Sports Card Radio tonight. No Colin, no Tim. They are both on assignment. I have checked in with our security detail for both Colin and Tim, and at this very moment, they are safe. So I know you guys were wondering where they were and wondering about their safety, but I can assure you all is well in the Sports Card Radio universe. And despite being a couple men down, we've got a lot to talk about in the sports card world. Boy, oh boy. It's just scandal after scandal as the lead up to the National Sports Collectors Convention, the Fanatics Fest, and the Burbank Sports Card Show, which we'll be talking about today, actually. Jay, who runs the Burbank Sports Card Show, will be calling in to the cbhobby.com hobby hotline. Looks like they hung out with our boy Steph Curry, so we got to see what this is all about. Later on in the show, we will be hearing from Jay. You, at any moment, can call the CB Hobby hotline and air your grievances. $190 for a Topps Chrome box. That's like the best price I've seen. And with the promo code Will Greer, you could save another $19. I don't know if it gets any cheaper, to be honest, on the internet. We'll be talking about Topps Chrome today. We'll be talking about various Subjects in the hot boy. We got a doozy for you guys today. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but even hobby hero Geoff Wilson had to comment on it just a few hours ago. People are using CT scanners to look inside sports card and Pokemon boxes. We have videos from the likes of Neo Cards and Comics to discuss. Dan the Cardman to discuss. Rattle Pokemon was out with another bombshell today. And we have a guy over here with 632 subscribers that released a bombshell of a video 2 days ago detailing his 2 to 3 year quest to buy a $1,500 CT scanning device. And he is very confident that he can use it to determine what is inside Pokemon packs. And if you could decide, and if you could determine what is inside Pokemon packs, my guess is you can do the same thing for sports cards. In these videos by Dan the Cardman and by Neo Cards and Comics, it actually was a box of Flawless where you could see the cards inside. Woo, folks. That is a freaking bombshell. We have other topics to discuss. Jake Brooks with the 1999. Bringing the heat, boys. Wish me luck at Harrah's Lake Tahoe. Beautiful time to be up in Lake Tahoe right about now. There's no snow in sight, except maybe on the tippy top of the mountain. Some nice casinos down there. Nice little 24-hour joint right there. You can get some food in case you want some money late night. But I want to welcome everybody to the program. Phoenix Rising is in the house. BK Sports Cards is in the house. This Cardboard Life is in the house. Here's one of the memes he posted the other day. He said he's going to tell his kids this was Santiago Sports. So there we go. I think they look like twins. Maybe I think Santiago should show up with this get up at the National. Patrick O'Houlihan is in the house. CardIWest.com is in the house. Bitcoin Taco. Brian Bayless. The Wolf Shirt Guy. Speaking of which, man, we got all kind of emails about Sports Card Radio merch. Maybe we'll talk about that later on in the show. But we got CT scanning to talk about. We got card software to talk about. We got Topps Chrome Baseball just came out. Boy, it's expensive. Unless you're over here on cbhobby.com. My God. This shit used to be $65 a box or less. 10 years ago. Not even 10 years ago. Both the football and the baseball version. So Fanatics has certainly jacked up the price on you guys. My goodness. We'll discuss the implications of that. We'll discuss the implications of me bidding on this Bill Cartwright PMG Green. So these don't pop up for sale every day. PSA 8's a good condition. We'll talk about your boy Kurt's card care. Looks like he was spraying down a popular card. What's the point of these grading companies if you could just spray these cards down and turn it into... Is this like the low grade? Hey, it has a low of an 8, but if you crack it out, rub it down with Kurt's juice, spray it down, and send it back in, it could actually have an upside to an 8.5 or a 9. What's the point of these grading companies? I certainly wouldn't be paying a premium for some of these scores. But maybe I'm in the minority. Which card would you guys rather have? Let's look at 3 gold prisms. We got Kirk Cousins, rookie card. This hobby falls in love with good players, not great players. Kirk Cousins, I think it would classify as a good player. He's been on several different teams. I wasn't even aware he was on the fucking Redskins. That's right. I think they drafted him the same draft as Robert Griffin, the third. $1,300. BGS 9.5. The subgrades are 9 on the corners, 9.5 surface, 10 centering, 9.5 edges. So you could rub the corners down and perhaps jack the grade up on that. So fucking $1,300 for Kirk Cousins, $946 for a Wembanyama patch that he may or may not have worn. Numbered to 10, 10 of 10, PSA 8. Or this LeBron James insert card gold prism, 4 of 10. But it is a BGS 10 for whatever that's worth. 10, 10, 9.5 on the corners. So $600 for LeBron, $946 for Wemby, $1,300 for Kirk Cousins. Damn. I would have thought the other two would have been more than Kirk Cousins, but maybe people are after these rookie prism cards more than I thought. You guys got to be careful about these fucking cards. I think auction houses and people who try to sell these cards, there should be almost like a disclaimer, because it looks like you're getting a signed Ohtani card with a fucking patch on it, which would be an amazing card and a very expensive card, more than $870. But what you're getting is Topps in 2021, for some reason, made these cards with pictures of their baseball cards on them. I mean, this was like in Series 1 or Series 2. So probably not a very hard card to get. Now, I know back in the day, like I think like 1975 Topps, they kind of did something similar. But those packs were a lot less expensive and it's a lot less deceptive. Here's an Aaron Judge card, same thing. It's a fucking picture of an autographed Inception card. This is one of the all-time worst ideas in the history of Topps. Through the years, $427. Nobody's paying $427 for this card if they actually knew what it was. So I'm not a huge fan at all of these. And look, Golden's not trying to be deceptive here. They don't say autograph, they don't say patch or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe when you get old, you start noticing things like that. Jason from Attleboro says Kirk Cousins is better or greater than Jab's family. Wow. I don't know. This cardboard life is wondering who's going to pay for that. I mean, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Yeah, Route of Pokemon. This is like if Pokemon made pictures of fucking first edition Charizards and then put them on a card. It's not good. Dumb idea from Topps. I think there's a better way to. I don't know why you'd want to put pictures of cards on cards. Fucking stupid. Scott T makes a good point that Kirk Cousins' mom will certainly pay for that card. So maybe that's who the high bid is at $1,348. We shall see. But guys, you're going to want to sit down for this. You're going to want to. But before you sit down, you may want to go to the refrigerator. You might want to pull out a beer. You might want to light up a smoke. You might want to call your therapist. Maybe Rob, the sports card therapist, is still around taking clients. Guys, we got major problems in the sports card world. Nightmare scenario for the likes of Geoff Wilson, CardCollector2, and the hobby positivity crowd, who tried to tell you guys and have told you guys repeatedly that, the notion of rigged boxes is tinfoil hat stuff. It's just all a fucking conspiracy. That's what you've been told. That there's no way for anybody, to be able to look inside a box and determine its contents. For the possibility that major distributors, for the manufacturers themselves, to be able to determine what is inside these boxes? Well, there was a post on Instagram just about a week ago where somebody ran a flawless box through a CT scanner. And I'll point you in the direction of a video that came out a couple days ago that I'll explain if you're not really sure what a CT scanner is. It's used, a CT scanner is used exactly how it's being used here. It's being used to look inside something and determine what is inside. I think this video over here gave an incredible example about fossils that were buried under like lava rock. So you had to CT scan these big old chunks of lava to see what was inside. Well, it's not only being used for medical, for archaeological purposes, but people are going to use it for sports cards. And this box of Flawless on Neo Cards and Comics channel, I think my video just went out, went around Instagram, went around the YouTube world. That this was something that was possible, and something that was possible for not a lot of money and maybe not a lot of expertise. Well, this is not only rippling within the sports card community, guys. This is rippling within the Pokemon community. And I do want to point out a video that was done 2 days ago. Ahron Wayne Strange Brain, 600 subscribers. I believe what happened is he saw these videos popping up about the guy on Instagram with the Flawless box. And he was like, I better come out with my own video. Because this is something he's been working on for several years. His job is to use CT scanners and other X-ray devices to measure objects. That's literally his job. So he knows these machines very well. He knows how they work on a very technical level. He went and bought a $1,500 machine from some rando in his garage. He spent quite a bit of time repairing it, which has to take incredible amount of technical knowledge to do that. And then once he got the thing up and running, he bought some actually fairly expensive Pokemon packs to the tune of like $250 each. And he ran them through this machine. There you can see the Pokemon packs were $250 each. And he was able to determine which holofoil was inside the Pokemon pack. And so you can imagine, if you can see what's inside. See, look, when you do the X-ray, you can see the outline of the little Pokemon character. And if you know Pokemon characters fairly well, it wouldn't actually be very hard to determine, even with a grainy black and white image like this, what is inside. And also, they can determine if it has a hollow foil inside the pack or not, because the hollow foils have a little different texture, have a little different consistency to them. So I'm sure the intelligent people watching Sports Card Radio right now, hey, if you can do this with Pokemon packs, you absolutely could do this with sports card products. Absolutely. It was already done with a Flawless box that you have to fucking scan through a briefcase, like a metal briefcase. And you could certainly probably, like the Pokemon, see the outline of the card, maybe see an outline of a logo man, maybe see an outline of an autograph. It really would be probably easy on like 86, 87 Fleer packs, because you could scan it and then all you have to look for is the silhouette of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So this is big, big, big news. Because as this video outlined, he's been working on this for several years, folks. This isn't some new revelation. Shout out to Dave Snyder. Tim, will you visit Dallas despite the card show heist? Tim is not with us today. He is on location. And I can't speak for Tim, but I bet he's not afraid to show up anywhere, including Dallas. But we'll ask him. Johnny Cakes says the industry is shiesty as fuck. Yes, exactly. This has been going on for several years. Several years people have been working on it. Of course, Geoff reacted today. One of the guys on this video, I think this guy right here with the hat on, and I don't know if this isn't in a direct quote, but he says it about this woman in the video. He says, I wish this didn't come to light so that it doesn't put it in people's heads. So the hobby positivity crowd doesn't even want this to come out. They don't even want you guys to be talking about this. That's how bad it is. Geoff, of course, appeared somewhat shocked that this was even possible. Because remember, he spent the better part of a couple of years telling you, oh, this is just tinfoil hat stuff. Geoff even goes so far as to attack people in this industry who tries to raise issues and raise questions surrounding scamming that goes on in this hobby. Geoff Wilson has threatened to sue Sports Card Radio. Geoff Wilson has ran to his couch and told you what is good content and what is bad content. Ty Wilson of Chasing Cardboard did the same thing. He ran to his tractor and tried to tell you this was good and this was bad. Geoff Wilson said, well, only somebody with a large amount of boxes, maybe would want to do this. And somebody maybe like DA Card World who was trustworthy. It just shows you how ignorant Geoff Wilson is. The guy, Adam Martin, who runs DA Card World, yeah, he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy to get a few beers in, and he's going to tell some amazing fucking stories. But there's not one person who's been in the industry more than 10 years, 20 years, that's going to look you dead in the face and tell you that Adam Martin at DA Card World is a trustworthy guy. For example, a former employee of DA Card World sent me a video where DA Card World was holding back their best repacks from the Hit Parade product to funnel to their best customers. So they maybe make 100 boxes of Hit Parade. 2 of them maybe have big chase cards or big chase or something inside, memorabilia inside. Those will be put in a separate office in DA Card World, waiting for a big customer to send them to. Okay? That's just one example from a former employee. So people like Geoff, people like this guy in the hat who says, hey, I just wish we wouldn't, we wish we just didn't even hear about that. I wish we wouldn't even talk about this, guys. So in back-to-back weeks, we have the Dallas Card Show heist. And then we have the revelation that you're able to see inside these boxes. I definitely encourage everybody. I found this video to be quite informative. I learned about CT scans. I learned about, kind of how to repair them. I learned about Pokemon a little bit. And I found it very interesting that he had been working on this, not maliciously. Like, this guy wasn't trying to maliciously look into Pokemon packs and try to take advantage of people. He's just actually really interested in CT scanning. He does it for a living, measures objects for a living, and thought it would be interesting to find out if it was possible, but in the hands of the wrong person or the wrong company or companies. This could get bad. This could get ugly really quick. He bought this CT scanner for $1,500. Now, he had to have the know-how how to fix this thing and how to use it. But there are plenty of people in this hobby who have the same level of experience, or they're able to find somebody who will let them use a working CT scanning machine. To x-ray boxes and determine what is inside. So to me, this is a complete bombshell. Because it's inexpensive, it's an inexpensive thing to use. It appears to be very effective. The video about the flawless was very effective. I was very convinced after watching this video that if I knew how to work a CT scanning machine and if I had some Pokemon packs, wouldn't take me long at all to determine which ones had hollow foils in them and then which foils they were. Oh boy. On the heels of the National, we get this. On the heels of the biggest sports card show of the year, we get this. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't buy unopened wax. If I did, I'd be over on cbhobby.com taking 10% using the promo code Will Greer. If I did, $400 for a chrome jumbo box, take $40 off. I don't know if there's a cheaper place on the internet, honestly. He's sold out. I'd get in here and get notified on the fucking restock. $35 for a blaster. These are $40 on fucking Fanatics website. So I don't open wax. I don't know how concerned I would be about this. The fact that flawless was used as an example, certainly any older flawless break, any older flawless wax sealed out there, loose boxes. No way in hell I'm trusting that. We've already seen that they can reseal flawless boxes. I did a video on that maybe about a year ago, where a company in China discovered that they were sold fake resealed flawless boxes that I think they bought from DA Card World as well. Geoff Wilson's favorite fucking trustworthy company over here. So the hobby positivity crew is just now getting caught up that these types of things can happen. That when we have wax prices that are 3, 4, 5, 6x the price of where they were just 5-10 years ago, where there's money to be made, there will be vultures like we saw at the Dallas Card Show. And there will be people who want to buy 12 boxes, scan them all through a CT scanner, sell you the 11 dud boxes, and keep the one good one for themselves. I can guarantee you that the boxes over at CB Hobby haven't been ran through a CT scan. CT scan free. I think some of these box sellers like DA and Blowout, they should advertise if they're CT scan free. And look, people like Geoff, people like CardCollector2, they don't get all their product from the manufacturer. They have to go out and source it through third parties. And when you're sourcing boxes through third parties, and it went to this guy, and it went to this guy, and it was handled by this guy, and it went through this CT scanning machine. Holy Lord, this is bad. This is bad. We had a $2 million theft in Dallas. That does not make anybody want to go to a card show and, first of all, set up and spend money. It gives you a really bad taste in your mouth. I don't see how something like this doesn't also give you the same bad taste. We'll talk about Kurt's Card Care in a minute. I actually don't think Kurt's Card Care is a negative thing at all. I think it makes people look closer at their cards. I think it makes people buy this card, crack it out, and send it to PSA. This, to me, though, is quote unquote negative. Negative. Because this is going to get out. And this is going to be something you hear about during breaks. People are going to be writing in the chat, oh, did you CT scan that box? When they get skunked in a break, they're going to wonder, was that box CT scanned? When they buy a box from Cards HQ, people are saying CT scan HQ. Maybe we're going to have to rename it. I'll talk to Geoff. I'll talk to Teapot. Maybe we're going to have to rename it CT scan HQ. You're going to wonder if you buy a box from CT scan HQ, has it been CT scanned? How's this hobby going to deal with it? Teapot, his bright idea was, well, maybe Panini, who hasn't given a fuck about you guys in about 5 or 6 years, maybe they'll create something in Flawless so that it blocks the CT scan. I don't know. I would encourage Teapot to watch this video from Aaron Wayne's Strange Brain, where I think it really goes over that, hey, CT scans and some of this X-ray device, it's meant to penetrate almost anything. And then how much extra cost to your box if you're adding some kind of fucking metal plate or some kind of fucking bulletproof vest or Kevlar or something to this thing so that it may or may not be able to be CT scanned. And you're going to do that with every product? You're going to do that with every box? Abso-fucking-lutely not. So the hobby positivity crowd is having a hard time processing what's going on here. Because they've only literally in the last couple of years been introduced to how shady this industry is and has been, guys. They're literally just now coming to terms with it. That, wow, there are motherfuckers out there X-raying boxes. There are motherfuckers out there cleaning cards. There are motherfuckers out there, literally, any way possible, they will try to scam you. There are guys who will go to a card show, distract the people working at your booth, and jack your Zion case with $2 million worth of cards in it. This is the hobby I know. This is the hobby I've been familiar with for many, 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 many years. And it seems like just now, some of these hobby positivity guys who called this stuff tinfoil hat stuff just a few months ago. Does anybody feel safe buying a fucking box of cards? A loose box of cards? Does anybody feel safe doing that now? When you go to the National and all the boxes are laid out from DA Card World and Blowout Cards and Marty's and Atlanta Sports Cards, and I don't know who still sets up down there selling boxes. Were all those run through a CT scanner? I mean, the rumor for the last couple of years is that big hits get sent to breakers or big popular accounts and get funneled to people who open on Whatnot, maybe to somebody like Backyard Breaks or Mama Breaks or some of these popular people. You think this is going to help that any more? You think this is going to quiet that down? For years, we had people telling us that this was not possible, that you didn't know, you couldn't tell what was inside a box. Guys, you could use a fucking $1,500 scanner and tell what's inside these boxes. This guy's been working on it for 2 years. He's not the only one. Shout out to Rattle Pokemon for the Pokemon scanning info vid. Shit is getting crazy. I agree. This is how I found out about it, through Rattle Pokemon. At least this video, this kind of new video from a couple days ago. That's how I found out about it. Dan the Card Man, Neo Cards and Comics, and Geoff were talking about this kind of this guy on Instagram posted the Flawless box. So 2 separate people have already figured this out and are talking about it on social media. So imagine how many motherfuckers who have kept their mouth shut about this and have known about this probably for years. And they've kept their mouth shut because they probably used it to their advantage and are exploiting people and exploiting customers. It'd be one thing if all this product came from one manufacturer, one distributor, one location. No, these boxes go all over the country. Jeff Wilson is on DealerNet or whatever the fuck he's on nowadays, buying probably from all kind of different sources. How does Jeff know that his boxes aren't CT scanned? Is it CT Cards HQ now? Another hoppy oopsie doopsie. Exactly. Here's another one. Another week, another oopsie doopsie. And this one's bad because this is just what we know. These are people who are kind of like trying to blow the whistle, I imagine, on it. I doubt this guy showed this flawless box to be like, hey, look at me ripping somebody off. Let me show you how I did it. This video was presented in a way where, yeah, he was just trying to alert the community. Well, the community has been alerted. And we are going to see how the hobby positivity crowd reacts. We've seen Geoff. Geoff is like, well, unless you had a lot of boxes like DA, you couldn't really do anything. Geoff couldn't CT scan. Geoff has a shit ton of boxes in his store. He couldn't CT scan every box. And then the other guy over here in the hat just wants to sweep it under the rug. God, I just wish this didn't come out so it doesn't put it in people's head. Buddy, it's been in motherfuckers' heads. Here's 2 people in a week who have talked about how they know how to do this, buddy. It's out already. It's out. You guys just can't like, pull the covers over your head and be like, oh no, go away, go away, go away. It doesn't work that way. This is why scams are allowed in this hobby, because you guys try to run from it. You don't want to talk about it. Now we are scanning for men. Yes, exactly. They're using CT scanners to scan for pictures of men, valuable pictures of men. Some of them are boys under the age of 18 years old. It's a weird hobby, but I can't say that I'm shocked at all. Anywhere where there is large amounts of cash, large amounts of money involved, and an entirely unregulated industry. Holy Lord, is this industry unregulated? It's so unregulated that guys like Geoff come after guys like me and my brother. That's how unregulated this industry is. That if you speak up about some of these topics, you get shunned. We're banned from the Beckett Industry Summit. Literally any scammer could attend the Beckett Industry Summit, but Sports Card Radio is banned. I could go on and on about some of the comments that the hobby heroes and the hobby positivity crowd. It looks like Neo has a second video out just from 2 hours ago talking about this situation. Looks like going over the Pokemon situation. This is bad. This is bad. And there's no way for you guys to know. It's kind of like Kurt's Card Care. There's no fucking way for you to know if that spray is on the card or not. You have no idea if Geoff is CT scanning his boxes and it's CT Scan HQ. You have no way of knowing if DA Cardwell does it or Blowout Sports Cards or if Fanatics does it themselves. Or how about GTS Distribution or Southern Hobby, Peach State? Oh, boy. This is a bad one. This is a bad one, and it's rippling through the Pokemon community. So this is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this will not be the last time we talk about this. I guarantee you that. Yeah, flawless. I don't know what I would do. I'd only be buying through trusted sources like cbhobby.com who have CT scan free boxes. Promo code Will Greer to take 10% off. But man, I'd be scared about going on to DealerNet and buying some from randos. Especially the expensive stuff like Flawless, where there's an incentive to do this. It's one thing, these $400 Chrome boxes where you might have to fucking scan. I don't know how many you might have to scan to find a valuable card that'll pay for the box. I mean, these are so overpriced from Fanatics that it's unbelievable. But a box of Flawless, if you're looking for the triple logo man or whatever, I don't need any training. You just show me how that scanner works. You show me where to place the box, and fucking from these videos, boy, it don't take much. Oh, boy, this is a bad one. Oh, you guys can't tell my excitement. Boy, oh, boy, is this a bad one. So we go see how the hobby positivity reacts. Geoff is over here being like, oh, don't worry. Just buy your boxes from trustworthy people. This other guy's like, oh gosh, I wish we wouldn't have talked about it. Teapot is like, oh, well, they should put something inside the box to fucking make sure you can't CT scan it. Like, that's fucking practical. My God. Don't quit your day job. I would encourage you to ask anybody who sells boxes, about this. What do they think about this? I don't buy boxes. I don't buy any breaks. I don't buy an open product. So it's certainly not going to affect me one bit. Not one bit is this going to affect me. But I'm smart enough to realize this could be as bad or worse than the Dallas Card Show heist, because this is going to linger for a long, long, long time. There's no way to detect it. No way to detect if where you're buying boxes from, they've CT scanned the motherfucker. Woo-wee! Better stop saying that loaded boxes and the possibility of it is tinfoil hat stuff. Just stop with that. Stop. Because it's not. I'm pretty convinced that you could take any box and probably any case, run it through a high quality. After watching this video, I was like, oh boy, okay. Because he was talking about scanning stuff that was a lot harder to determine than sports card boxes. Like fucking scrolls that had been buried under fire. I don't know. Whew, this is bad. This is bad. We had a historic week of news in the world. Of course, I'm talking about NCAA football for PlayStation and Xbox came out. And if you had 3-day early access like me, it's about all I've been doing for the last couple of days. So I know, the country and the nation has been deeply enthralled in playing NCAA football on video games. In a moment, we will have Burbank Sports Card Show. Jay, who runs the Burbank Sports Card Show, come on and talk about the show a little bit, who might be there. And it looks like he hung out with Steph Curry, so it'd be kind of cool to see what Steph Curry's like. But I mean, I can't beat this into the ground anymore and reiterate how bad this is. This is bad. I would go watch all these videos from Neo, from Dan the Card Man, from our boy Rattle Pokemon, from Geoff, and of course, Wayne's Strange Brain. This is a fantastic video. Fantastic video. I learned a lot. And I'm convinced that you could take any box of sports card, certainly any pack of sports card, and determine what is inside without opening it. So, whew. Man, we're going to be talking about that. Speaking of the guy who makes your sports cards, man, good thing this dude was good at business, because I don't even know what we're watching right now. If you're just kind of listening in the background, we're watching Michael Rubin throw a pitch at maybe some kind of all-star Major League Baseball all-star event. He's kind of throwing a pitch like he would at like a carnival or something, and they test your speed. He threw a 39 mile an hour pitch, which I think my 7-year-old nephew could crank it up a little higher than that. His form is atrocious. Newborn babies have more athletic ability than Michael Rubin. So I don't know what this says about Mike Rubin. I don't know what this says about the future of sports cards, because this guy is running it. But man, if I were him and his team, I'd be trying to get this video deleted off the internet, because even I'm getting up there in age. I am not athletically inclined at all, but I may not be able to throw it harder than 48, but I could at least make it look a little better. I feel like at least a little better. But I don't know about you guys. Rubin picked on a lot. I mean, is he picked at all? Like, are you just like, are you better off not even having Michael Rubin on your fucking team instead of picking him last? So this is bad. So Mike Rubin spent a little too much time preparing for the white party. You might want to, maybe he doesn't have any sons. Maybe he doesn't go out in the backyard and play catch, but boy, he's got a lot to work on. Oh, speaking of working on, I have been using, and I'm not gonna promote this. I'm not gonna promote which company I've been using, but I've been using card listing software. It's about $50 to $100 a month. I know we've gotten some questions about this. For $50 to $100 a month, you could probably list about 5,000 to 10,000 listings on eBay. So what you do is you take your scanner, you rifle through whatever, 5,000 cards, upload them to the software, and then some of the software will detect which card it is and basically set up your entire eBay listing. Caveat being, after testing this stuff out, it has about 50 to 60% accuracy. So you can scan a card, and I would say about 50% of the time it can nail it right. Now, sometimes maybe they'll call it a silver parallel when it's really the hyper parallel, or they'll call it the red parallel when it's really the orange one. So you might think 50 to 60% accuracy, that sucks. No, that's actually fucking amazing. If I could give somebody a scan of 5,000 cards and then 2,500 listings they could basically set up for me on eBay, and all I have to do is price them, that's worth way more than $50 to $100 a month. So this is one of the most useful pieces of software and tools that I've ever used. It's so worth the money. Again, I'm not going to talk about which brand I'm using. There's several out there. They probably all work about the same. If somebody wants to offer me board seats and equity, I'll certainly promote it on the show. And we talk about group breakers and we talk about businesses and sport. You could set up a fucking sports card business all in for less than $1,200. You buy the scanner for $855. That'll be your probably biggest expense if you have a computer. You need a thermal printer for $180. Google that if you don't know what that is. You want that. That'll save your life. Envelopes are 9 cents each. Labels are 2 cents each. Index cards, which I add for the plain white envelopes, are 2 cents each. You use 2 of those per package. An eBay subscription that allows 10,000 listings is $27.95. And the listing software to list 10,000 listings would be about $100 a month. So you're all in, if you had a computer, would be $1,200 a month. You can't even get a fucking case of cards for that. I've sold tons of cards over the last several days. I only have like 3,000 cards listed. I'm trying to crank this up to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 100,000 million cards. And the way you're going to do that is through listing software. And even if it's only 50 to 60% accurate, that's worth its fucking money in gold, because you're basically hiring somebody for pennies on the dollar to set up eBay listings for you, where all you're doing is having to price it, boom, click a button, and now it's all listed eBay. So if you are somebody out there who is trying to set up a business, is interested in it, maybe you already sell stuff on eBay and you want to crank it to the next level, don't be afraid to use the listing software. And if you want to start a business, here's literally, if you have a computer and if you have some cards to list, here's how you can do it for about $1,200 or less. Includes an $850 fucking scanner, which I believe all these things are essential. Like, you don't want to try to do this without the scanner. You don't want to try to do this without the thermal printer. Those two things are essential. And then with eBay, they give you 10,000 free listings in the sports card category. If you go above 10,000, I think you've got to get to like the $50 a month plan. But you should be like, day one, you probably be selling cards. Day fucking one, you'll be selling cards. So if you're interested in starting a business like this and you have questions, feel free to call me and reach out to me, and I will share any tips that I have. But I thought I'd share that. But folks, thank God I've been talking for like an hour. And we have a special guest on the cbhobby.com hobby hotline. I need to check my bids real quick before I bring Jay on. Of course, I get outbid on fucking everything. These better not get another bid. These through the years cards better not get another bid. And I would like to see auction houses put like not autographed, or something to make sure that people know that this is not an autograph card. This is literally a card you could pull out of fucking 2021 Series 1. So one of the worst ideas in the history of cards right there. Hey, maybe this is what solves the CT scan though. You put a bunch of dummy cards like this in there. So you scan it and you think you're getting an Ohtani. Oh, fuck, it's got the patch. And then you rip it open and you're like, oh, no, I got duped. That might be the only way. This might be the only way to trick the CT scanner. The LeBron's at 850. The Wemby's at 946. God, I want to almost slap a bid on that. The Kirk Cousins, his mom has bid this up to 1592. You can almost get the Wemby and the LeBron for the price of the Kirk Cousins. So, man, I guess I don't know the football market well enough that, fuck, this guy's a scrub. Never won shit. Literally never won shit. He's made a bunch of money. He was on that little Netflix show. He seems like a great guy. The little memes last year where he was holding the chain and fucking whatever. Fucking great content, great shit. But man, 1,500? Whew, I don't get it. But look, guys, we're going to be at the Burbank Sports Card Show in 34 days. And I'm going to bring on Jay, who runs the event. Jay.
Hey, Ryan.
What's going on, brother? How are we doing?
Good. Just got off work, so.
Just got off work. Hey, what do you?
I was running late.
No, it's no problem at all. I was fucking going on and on about this. I don't know. Have you heard about this? That you can CT scan a bot. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, when there's thieves, everything's possible, right?
Everything's possible.
We'll try whatever it takes to get one on somebody else. So, very
kind of
possible.
my thoughts as well. That was kind of my thoughts as well. Where there's money to be made, the vultures will circle.
Yes, sir.
But in a good way, there's going to be vultures circling the Burbank Sports Card Show. This is about I don't know, the fourth or fifth one you guys have put on. It's down at the Anaheim Convention Center, right next to Disneyland. So you could drop the wife and the fucking kids off at Disneyland, and you could spend, it looks like 7-8 hours at this card show, August 23rd through the 25th. Tell me about this. Are you getting excited about this? Are you ready for the crush of people? What should we expect for the Burbank Card Show?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's flattering that I'm on your platform today. This is actually our fifth show, second show in Anaheim. We will be at ACC North, 200 level, second floor only. Unlike last year, we were up and down.
Okay.
Show VIP night starts on the 22nd. Regular shows is 23rd to 25th. So we are overlooking California Adventure. Actually, if you go to the patio of that building, you can see California Adventure across the street.
So you can keep an eye on the wife and the kids while you're shopping for sports cards, is what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah. Unless you go there at night, then you'll see the fireworks.
Oh, there we go. So we got fireworks. Tell me about this thing with fucking Steph Curry. It looks like you were hanging out with our boy Steph Curry from up in Northern California here. What is this all about? How do it looks like there's maybe a collaboration with some kind of canvas marketing and maybe even tag too? What are these cards, and then how would somebody get one of these cards?
So I've been wanting to elevate the experience for the VIP. So sometime earlier this year, I was introduced to Steph Curry's cousin. His name is Will.
Okay.
And he is actually the owner of Canvas Marketing, who has the licensing to make artwork for Stephen Curry. So Canvas Marketing started as making artwork for Steph, and they eventually ventured to what they call mini art cards or mini art pieces, which are the cards that you see today. Steph would they will make arrangements to sign some of the cards. He will contract artists to draw and sketch the cards and make the designs. So when I got introduced to Will before the Ontario show last February, we kind of talked, you know what, can we do something for the Burbank card show coming in Anaheim? And maybe we can have a collaboration with Tag Rating. So I had a meeting with Tag and Canvas one day at my local show. Then we came up with this concept that it would be cool that if we can create cards that serves as name badges for our VIP guests. So those who are familiar with Burbank Card Show, last Ontario show, we featured Tag making custom-made cards with the face of the guest. So they took pictures of the attendees, and who for the VIP it became their badge, and they kind of cartoonized and enhanced the design of the trading card. So each attendee had their own trading card hanging on their neck as their badge. So that went viral.
Okay.
That became a total different business, separate business for Tag. The thing is, the hard part of it is they were very delayed in production because everybody wanted one. So I had to think about something that I can do for the VIP, which we don't need to make the cards as you go.
Right.
So I spoke to Canvas. Hey, can we make some designs? What would it cost? What would it take for Steph to sign some of these cards? We'll randomly insert some of the autos, and we'll make that the VIP badge.
How many autographs are there? How many autographs are there?
There's about 30.
Okay.
And the total print run of the cards is about 1,002 that are going to be used for the badges. So the odds of pulling a free auto is somewhere between 1 out of 34 to 1 out of 50. And these are not just autos. These are autos with his fingerprint at the back.
Oh, so he's fingerprinted the back of the card as well.
Only for the autos, yes.
For the autographs.
So this is a sample of the card. This is signed by Steph. This is already graded by Tag. So all the autos are graded with a number grade. On the back of the card, there is Steph's fingerprint.
Wow.
Now, if you scan the QR code of this slab, it's going to get you to the dig report in the Tag website, where it will tell you what the grid, how the grid became of, and then underneath it will be the video of Steph signing the cards. So basically, this is a 3-step authentication, actually 4-step authentication, because you have the auto, the video authentication, the fingerprint authentication, and the witness, which would be me and my team that witnessed Steph signing these cards. So this now goes to this, and it will be the badge
Cool.
for the VIPs. Now, the card will be wrapped like a wax pack. You don't know what's going to be inside. All of the cards are numbered for the set, and it will be randomly given to VIP. So what I plan to do, for it to be fair for everybody, I'll have a big box with about 70 cards, 75 cards, with 2 autos in it. Every time somebody pulls a regular card, we put the regular numbered card back in. And every time somebody pulls an auto, we put an auto back into the box. That way, consistently, people have a chance of grabbing that auto. And
So you're
among
not gonna
the 30, go ahead.
you're not gonna CT scan the packs before
No,
to see which ones have the skirt. Okay, so no
no,
CT scanning of the packs
nope.
prior to this happening. Okay.
And that card will come out like this one.
Wow.
So it's wrapped in the pack.
Okay, so it's in like a tag pack. Okay, and then
Yeah,
so you don't know what's inside, and then
we don't know what's
30
inside.
of them.
30 of them with autos. Out of the 30 autos, 4 of them are inscribed.
Wow.
And the cool one, there's a Steamboat Curry card wherein he draw Mickey ears on the card after signing. So that's one
Wow.
of the featured cards there.
So
And
another perk if you buy a VIP pass.
Mhm. And this one over here is his favorite design, as shown in the video, is the Babyface Assassin card. So for $2.99, you get entrance for Thursday night, Friday with early bird, Saturday with early bird, and Sunday with early bird. Last year, just the VIP without getting anything, we charged $150. So basically, for additional $150, you get one of these. And Canvas has produced other cards in the market that hit eBay. The ones out of 75 hit, I think, $180 on eBay. So definitely, just by the card itself, it pays for itself. I didn't want to price out anybody, but at the same time, I didn't want to devalue all the efforts and the brand of Canvas and Tag. That's why we came up with the $2.99.
Sure.
So my
Who's
goal
gonna
is
be
just to go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, we wanted to drive more people to go to VIP. That's why we put 1,000 out there, because normally VIP will get like 500-600 people
I
doing
see.
VIP.
How many people are coming to this card show? About how many people have come in the last few ones?
Last Anaheim is about 32,000 in and out through the show,
Wow.
including staff and vendors. Last Ontario, around the same, around 30,000, 30,000.
About 30,000.
Ontario's a
Wow.
smaller venue.
Right. So the Anaheim conventions, how many square footage is the Atlanta venue? I mean the Anaheim venue.
So Anaheim, we're only doing 100,000 square feet plus the foyer this time around, because everybody wanted to be in the same floor. Last year we had 200, but we still have about 650 vendor tables plus corporate.
So 650 tables plus corporate. Okay.
Yeah. Last year it was 700 tables, all tables on the second floor.
Who's gonna be there? Who are some of my favorite hobby heroes are gonna be there? Who could, besides I guess some of your partners and sponsors on this show? We got PSA, we got Golden, we got ComC, we got eBay, we got Beckett. Who are any of my favorite hobby influencers going to be there? Like, is Geoff going to be there? Is CardCollector2? Do we know any who the hobby heroes are going to be there?
Let's start with your favorite. So a guest influencer will be hosting trade night by the name of Mary Gamble.
Yes.
So she'll be there.
We got
at least for the Friday trade night. We're still working the details on the Saturday for her, because we have a sponsor for the Saturday trade night. So the sponsor has to agree for her to host it. But she's definitely going to host the Friday trade night.
Awesome. So Mary Gamble is hosting a Friday trade night. So we're excited to meet her. Who else? Is there anybody else that's going to be in attendance that we should be on the lookout for?
I'm doing a kids event for Saturday and Sunday for Pokemon to give away, to do a workshop to give away some Pokemon stuff for the kids. That marketing is going to come up within a week from now. right now I have Pokey Rich who's going to host that. Him and his partner are former contestants from the Amazing Race, and they'll be hosting the Pokemon workshop. I have a call with Mojo tomorrow if we can host sports kids event.
How fun.
Now we also have a collab with the Great Curator.
Yes, the great
He
one.
launched, he launched a company called Saturday Morning Cards. So
Okay.
they made a special release for Burbank Card Show for Steamboat Willie 4-card set. That if you're a VIP, you get it discounted for $150 for the 4-card set. If you're buying it individually, it's like $50 each, and
Okay.
one for Thursday, one for Friday, one for Saturday, one for Sunday. So he also agreed to donate some stickers for the Steamboat Willie to the kids on the event. So one thing about the Burbank
Love it.
shows, we always have events for kids that is no cost to both the parents and the kids.
Wow, that's exciting. So I'm excited. What's the internet connection like? Am I going to be able to host a live show? Am I going to be able to get the Great Curator on and get Mary Gamble Gamble on the live stream? What do you know about the internet connection at the Anaheim Convention Center? Is it strong? Like, what do you think?
It should be strong enough, but if you need special access, I do have special Wi-Fi for my corporate partners and my sponsors. So, we'll make it happen.
We might have
Worst
to
case
get
scenario, I have a portable Wi-Fi that you can use. So
Okay, I love it. Yeah,
you should
we
be
definitely
fine.
might. If Mary Gamble Gamble's in the house, we might have to go live and try to persuade her to come on the stream. That's for dang sure. One thing,
I'll
last
bring
thing.
her to your
Go
table.
ahead.
I'll bring her
Say
to
that
your
again.
table. I'll
Oh,
bring her
thank
to your
God.
table.
Yes. Please do that. Please do that as soon as I get there.
Yeah, as far
Last
as
thing
other
I wanted.
influencers, I know
Go
Roth
ahead.
Cards there.
Our boy Roth
Uh,
Cards. Okay.
Not sure about Geoff. He missed the last show. He was there the last Anaheim.
Okay.
Then who else will be there? Yeah, I'm not too close with a lot of the influencers, but a good amount of them, especially the younger ones, will be there. CardCollector2 has not done the Burbank Card Show since the first show, so we
What's
haven't
wrong with
spoken
him?
to Ryan. So because Ryan, we're more focused on giving a good show experience. We're not really there to tie up with other influencers, because we've got, I believe we've gained enough respect and traction that we don't really need to use platforms to be able to do a good show.
I see. That's why you're on Sports Card Radio. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You don't need to
this
be
is different. This is different. You're a vendor of mine. You're welcome to the show, and I'll take any marketing out there that I can.
Speaking of marketing, I don't know if you saw this, but your boy Rob is down here doing some work. It looks like he's got a new location for his card shop. It's over 14,000 square feet. It looks like it's going to be bigger than Geoff's shop. It's in an old Rite Aid. Have you been to the new Burbank Sports Cards location, and what do you think?
I haven't been there yet, but I've been notified even before the announcement was made that he's going to be moving. I told him I'm not going to your shop unless I have a personal parking space in front of your shop. But yeah, Rob and I, we have the same mindset. We're trying to grow our businesses. To those who don't know, Burbank Card Show is connected to the Burbank Card Shop, but they're run independently. So both Rob and I, we do strive to be one of the best out there in terms of what we do. We're not there yet, but we want to do it correctly. So he is expanding his shop. He's going to stay in Burbank, and yeah, with how the market in the industry is right now, everybody has to step up their game. That's why I did the Steph Curry collab. That's why he's moving locations to have better square footage, for his shop.
Yeah.
So looking forward to see the location. But yeah, he's been on site there almost every day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Pretty big move. That's a big location. It looks like he's got 70 parking space, so it looks like maybe a VIP spot for you and room for everybody else. What else should we know about the Burbank Card Show that's coming up in 34 days, 22 hours,
Wow.
and 19 minutes.
It's like a month away, huh?
It's a month away. Yeah.
It's
You
starting to
nervous
get real.
yet? Yeah.
Well, I will not calm down until all the vendors and all the corporate are checked in. That's how it works.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we're ready. The whole team has done their due diligence, their work. We are making a few more tweets. One of them will be security. I know a lot of people get mad at me every time I tweak security because if you don't know, when I do the Ontario show, I have metal detectors there. So I get a lot of slack from people saying why is it so tight in security? But it's needed. The incidents
Yeah.
lately that's been happening, it's needed. It's very important. It's a cash heavy show. One thing about SoCal, uh, people are going to liquidate your inventory. We have vendors, normally an average of 3 vendors per show, who get bought out on the first night, on VIP night. And we want to continue it that way to grow the liquidity in the hobby, especially coming after National and Fanatics. We need to be able to generate our dealers, the income they need to cover their expenses coming to the show. Because one thing
Sure.
about us is we attract international dealers and international attendees. We have vendors coming from Australia, China, Canada, and a good amount of people from Europe, soccer people from Europe. And I've been getting messages from some people coming from Mexico just to attend the show. So, we offer something different. We're more modern, a little bit less vintage at these shows, but that's where the industry is going to the newer, to the younger crowd. So we try to adapt to that. That's why my first project in terms of anything with athletes is Steph, because he adheres more to the younger crowd.
Mhm. Oh yeah, they loving Steph Curry up here.
Hmm.
Jay, we can't wait to get down there. We can't wait to set up. We will be at the Burbank Sports Card Show in 34 days. So we're looking forward to coming down there and seeing you. And we
Well,
appreciate you coming
as soon
on.
as I settle down over there, I'll buy you and your brother and your team a couple of drinks.
I
On me.
love it. I'm gonna hold that to you, hold you to that. And I like rum and coke, and we're gonna fire that up.
Yes, sir. So thank you for having me today. For those who want to get the VIP package, it's now available on the website for $299. It includes entry to all days of the show. So show your love, show your support for me to be able to do projects like this that benefits not only us as a business, it gives value to everybody for the vendors and for the attendees. For us to be able to do this, the success of programs like this will basically help us do more things in terms of activation in the industry. So
Sure.
again, I'll see you in 34 days.
Can't wait. Jay, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Ryan. And if Rob is watching, please make fun of him in the comments.
Yes, exactly. Oh, they got no problem doing that.
Yeah, I don't talk as much
Thanks,
as
Jay.
Rob. So okay,
Thanks, Jay.
Ryan.
Appreciate you, man. All right,
Thank
buddy.
you, boss.
Guys, that's the Burbank Sports Card Show. If you buy the package for $299, 4 days, we will be at the Burbank Sports Card Show, eagerly awaiting the arrival of Mary Gamble. So you can come hang out with Sports Card Radio for 4 days. We already got our Colin already booked the beach house or wherever the fuck we're staying. I think we're staying like 20, 30 minutes away on the beach. Anaheim's a little more inland. Bring your kids, bring the wife, drop them off at Disneyland, and spend 8 hours at the Sports Card Show. We got the great curator coming. I'm trying to. It looks like Ryan Johnson threw out the first pitch. Let's grade his form compared to Michael Rubin. Hope he shakes him off. Well, that's a much better effort from CardCollector2 compared to Michael Rubin. It looks like Michael Rubin could be taking some tips from CardCollector2. High pressure situation. You walk out there on the front of on the mound, and hey, look, there's only 10,000 of your closest friends at these Brewers games, but the adrenaline starts pumping. The palms start to sweat. And I think he should be proud of this effort. He got it there. A little inside. Definitely a ball. But a pretty good effort there from Card Collector 2. And I guess we're not sure if we're going to see him at the Burbank Sports Card Show or not. Dang, Jason coming in with a hot take about our boy Card Collector 2. Coming in with a hot take. That's hobby negativity right there. Card Collector 2 is a scammer, but nice throw nonetheless. You do remember that Card Collector 2 was involved in the Mark's Cards scandal. Mark's Cards was a Southern California hobby shop that was a PSA group submitter. He would take in cards. He would take your money. He would send the cards to PSA, but he wouldn't pay PSA. Well, he ran off with all the money, and PSA had tons of cards that had not been paid for, but had been graded, that were connected to Mark's Cards group submission business. Well, guess who one of the big customers of Mark's Cards was? It was Ryan Johnson of Card Collector 2. So there you go. And Card Collector 2 also famously, we'll talk about how the idea of loaded boxes is just tinfoil hat conspiracy stuff. Guys, I don't know if you missed the beginning of the fucking show, but hold on to your hats, because it has been discovered through the videos from the likes of Neo Cards and Comics, Dan the Cardman, Rado Pokemon, and especially our boy Wayne's Strange Brain. Boy, when I think I watched this video today, it had like 300 views. So this video is certainly circulating the Pokemon world, and I imagine the sports card world as well. Guys, you can CT scan your boxes and tell what is inside. Period. Like, period. Not tinfoil hat stuff, not conspiracy stuff. This guy has been working on it for the better part of 2 or 3 years. Bought a $1,500 CT scanner out of some guy's garage. My mind is blown. And unless you're buying from cbhobby.com using the promo code Will Greer, how do you fucking know you are safe? How do you know the boxes Card Collector 2 sells weren't CT scanned? How do you know the boxes that hobby hero Geoff Wilson over here at Cards HQ, how do you know the boxes he sells aren't CT scanned? Oh, man. He says it's Card Collector 2's fault for not being forthcoming with customers about using a middleman. I think there's that. I think there's just the judgment of using somebody like Mark's Cards, putting your money and putting your customers' cards at risk. So certainly even the hobby golden boy is not immune to scams, scandals, and shadiness. And you do remember last year at the National, it was Card Collector 2 that pulled the biggest card out of the Topps National packs. It was a Super Fractor Corbin Carroll card. Remember? And he said, "Oh my God, this is the biggest card I've ever hit." That's what he said. They were loose packs. I don't know if you guys remember this. They were loose packs. Those national packs come loose. Those national packs are set up perfectly to be CT scanned, because they don't come inside a box. They're just loose. There's just one pack, scan the next pack, scan the next pack. Remember, it was Card Collector 2 said, oh, there was no way that was rigged. No way that he could have got funneled. The best fucking card out of the national silver packs, Card Collector 2 pulled. But I'm not supposed to sit here and believe that maybe as AIH Sports would say, that there was any hanky-panky involved. Yeah, fuck me. Guys like Geoff Wilson, they'll send me a fucking lawsuit threat. If you talk about some of this shit in the hobby. So if you didn't know, Burbank Sports Cards is opening a 14,000 square foot. He has a 4,000 square foot store now, and he has a 7,000 square foot warehouse with the 40 million cards. Now he's moving into a 14,000 square foot building. So life's good down in Burbank. It's a nice little area too. There's a nice little place to eat across the street. This is a very, very nice building. Very expensive too, boy. That ain't gonna be cheap. Woo! So as I was saying earlier, if you want to, somehow maybe rise to the ranks of Burbank Sports Cards, I think it starts with listing software, and it starts with just grinding it out on some cheap $2 to $20 cards. In my opinion, that's the way to go. I did want to point out that your boy Kurt's Card Care cleaned up a Michael Jordan rookie card the other night. He took out some stuff on the edges. He worked on this lower left-hand corner, but he also sprayed the magic juice on this motherfucker. You can see he sprayed it over here, and he kind of dabbed it on there. We don't know if your boxes have been CT scanned, and we don't know if your cards have been juiced. Because the hobby elite, and really the hobby in general, has just allowed scamming to take place for the better part of 20 to 30 years. The scammers don't get weeded out of the hobby. They get invited to the Beckett Industry Summit. We don't weed out scammers. And I don't know if what Kurt's Card Care is doing right here, I don't know if I would classify this as a scam, but for how much attention this hobby pays to these stupid fucking labels and these stupid fucking companies giving you these opinions. You guys live and die with what Beckett says and PSA and fucking Nat. You'll be willing to pay fucking exponentially more. If this said 10 on it, this card would be at $70,000. If this card said 4, it'd be at like $3,000 or $4,000 less than it is now. So just by the matter of the score it has, people are willing to pay thousands of dollars more per card when they have no idea if that card had been rubbed on or touched by Kurt's Card Care. I don't know how you buy a box. I don't know how you spend money on a big card. What's the point? What's the point of spending money on a big card? Unless you're okay with it possibly being soaked and molested, and it used to be a 3. The card you bought used to be a BGS 3, and now it got turned into an 8. Because they trimmed off an edge there. They filed down that corner. They pressed it so that the corners got sharper. They rubbed some fucking little Kurt's juice right here. I don't know. I'm sure as heck not going to bid on cards like this. Doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather have one with a big old fucking fat crease down the middle of it, to be honest. If I was going to, quote, collect this, if I was going to buy this. Now, if you're in and out flipping these things, hey, it's the cost of doing business. You're just going to get in and out of these cards. Make a video like our boy Roth cards. But how do you look a collector? How do you look a, quote, investor? How do you look somebody who's a Michael Jordan fan in the face and be like, oh, yeah, buy this BGS 8 card? When it could have got sprayed down and rubbed by everybody's favorite hobby hero, Kurt's Card Care. So this hobby allows gray area. This hobby allows scams. Shit, I was accidentally, we posted a video about Kurt's Card Care on our Clips channel. And you can go to the comments of that video, and it's people just torching me and Colin for talking about Kurt. I guess we said something about him being a sex offender or looking kind of weird. And that's what the hobby freaks out about. Is we called Kurt's card. We said he looked like a fucking whatever. He's going to be on Chris Hansen's next show. And that's what the hobby cares about. They don't care that he's over here fucking molesting these expensive cards. and deceiving potential buyers of these cards and future buyers of these cards, openly deceiving them. They don't care about that. But if we name call a guy, there's literally like 30 comments about, oh, yo, you guys tried to be a journalist and your integrity took a hit because you were mean to him and you name called him and you guys at Sports Card Radio are just so fucking mean. Fine. Then you guys get what you deserve. You deserve the $2 million fucking scam last week at Dallas. This hobby deserves that. You deserve the fact that people have known that you can fucking CT scan boxes of cards for years. People have known this for years. This is not a hobby secret. This is what the hobby deserves. Because you don't want to talk about these issues. The guy, Geoff Wilson, today, he said it on the fucking video today. Go watch it, guys. The guy in the hat says, gosh, I wish this just never fucking, I wish we never found out about this. I just wish we didn't find out about this. I just wish we wouldn't talk about this. That's what he fucking said. This hobby just wants to run from all its issues, all its problems, and just shove boxes down your throat. Topps Chrome is a great example. It just came out. 2024 Topps Chrome Baseball. Here it is over at fucking cbhobby.com, guys. Find a lower price on the internet and please send it to me. Please find me a lower price on the internet after you use the promo code RealGrind to save 10%. I don't think there is one. If there's a lower price, I'd be concerned that the box got fucking CT scanned. I know that. And this is probably a reason why people don't want you to talk about loaded boxes. They don't want to talk about this possibility. They want to just sweep it under the rug. Because look at all the names on this list, guys. This is like fucking hobby hero fucking delight here. Maybe they're a little small there, but God, my God, look at all the people trying to run breaks. I don't know if you guys can see down here, way down at number 31. This is pick your team jumbo cases of Topps Chrome. These are breaks. So if you're buying the breaks, this data is courtesy of breakcomp.com. These are the prices for a jumbo box case break of Topps Chrome Baseball. Cards HQ is the most expensive. Over $1,300 more than the cheapest option at Barbell Breaks. So there is financial incentive for Mr. Wilson and crew to cover your ears and say, everything's fine, guys. Just continue to rip into cases of Topps Chrome at $4,000 a clip. And there's certainly other names on this list that won't want this stuff to come out. I still can't get over that you can CT scan a box and know exactly. Look, you could see individual cards. Please watch this video that Wayne Strangebray did. Please watch it. Because it will convince you that this is actually very, very easy to do if you had one of these machines and you knew how to fucking work it. And for people who have businesses selling boxes, distributors, maybe even the card makers themselves, they've thought about this and they've probably utilized this. Wouldn't shock me one bit. Wouldn't shock me one bit if there's a CT fucking scanning machine sitting over at DA Card World and Blowout Cards and GTS Distribution and Peach State and Southern Hobby. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a room with a CT scanner. Wouldn't surprise me one fucking bit. Wouldn't surprise me if at Cards HQ there's a room with a CT scanner. It's one of the ways you can actually make a lot of money in this hobby is if you just fucking scam people, because you're allowed to scam. They allow it with Kurt's Card Care. And this industry will talk down to you if you try to raise these issues, or certainly if you raise them too strongly or you speak too loudly. If you just kind of try to mumble along and try to be a journalist and try to fucking make your video like a PBS special, then hey, maybe you can get away with it. But try to come with a strong take, a hot take, and you get ran out of town. And we've seen influencers come along and then they usually get ran out of town. Go to our comments about the Kurt's Card Care video, and it's like nobody's talking about the deception, deceiving potential customers on fucking $7,300 cards in a 4th tier slab. Nobody's talking about this. It's, we name called him. We called him a sexual predator or whatever the fuck we said. I don't even remember what we said. That was the focus. So this hobby deserves it. They take their eye off the ball. They're never focused on what they should be focused on. It's always about whatever the newest product is, however much money they can make. And how can we keep the hype train rolling? They don't want to talk about this stuff. I wonder if Geoff mentioned that he was the most expensive group breaker out of 31, according to breakcomp.com. And look, there's been some calls around the hobby. I think I watched a show. I think the Hobby with Cage mentioned it. I saw lots of other posts on social media about people clamoring about how expensive 2024 Topps Chrome Baseball is and that they've priced everybody out. You can see that if you go to the Fanatic or Topps website and the top graphic there, I think I got that from Card Purchaser on Twitter. $200 for a hobby box. That's why fucking $190 plus a promo code. Like I said, from the Topps website, guys, it's $199. On cbdhobby.com, you want to click that notify restock button. That's what I would be clicking. $199 on Topps for Topps Chrome Hobby on Topps.com website. 10 years ago, this was a $58 box wholesale. The bottom graphic, I don't know, it's probably hard to read, but that is from an old email that I got 10 years ago from a distributor from Peach State, who's one of the largest distributors in the United States and is the main distributor for Leighton Sports Cards. Leighton Sports Cards is the breaking arm of Peach State Sports. So you could see 10 years ago, 2014 Topps Chrome Baseball, it came out, it looks like maybe in August. It was $58 a box. Wholesale, $56 if you bought a whole case. And if you were in the Good Old Boy network, you could probably get down to like $52. And I probably could find a blowout cards post or a DA Card World post from 10 years ago where this was like $50, $65 a box from them. Okay, it wasn't like you got such a great deal wholesale and you couldn't find that box cheap elsewhere. And again, I don't buy new products. This product has more than 3x'd in price in 10 years. And you used to get 2 autographs, now you get 1. So your hits have actually declined, and it's 3 times more expensive. But this is exactly what Fanatics was going to do. They were going to come in, roll up the industry, and get rid of all the middlemen and the distributors. Because it was stupid. It was probably honestly stupid that 10 years ago, Topps was selling these boxes at $58. That was probably fucking stupid. They probably should have been $100. But it doesn't surprise me that we are seeing sticker shock. Here's a tweet from Dizzle AZ. I'll be in AZ tomorrow. It says, open letter to Topps and Fanatics. Congrats. You've been increasing prices and you've priced most of us out of anything not named Series 1 or Series 2. Went by the local card shop today. $210 for a hobby box, $450 for a jumbo box, and blasters are now $40. Just can't do it anymore. Those that can, congrats. and good luck. So this used to actually be a low tier product, a very, very cheap product. 24 fucking packs, $50 a box. This used to be $2 to $3, $3 a pack, $4 a pack, maybe. Now it's like $10 a pack if they didn't CT scan each pack. You have other people complaining about the dilution of the autograph checklist. Here's Major Bones, who says, you know what? This is going to be my PC player now. I don't care that he went hitless in just 3 games last year before being DFA'd, so being released, designated for assignment. His future is too bright to pass up on. So what Topps has had to do, because they've raised the price, because they're making so much more of this product than they were 10 years ago, they've had to dilute the value of the autograph, and they've had to dilute who was in there. My guess is that Connor Kaiser signed for Topps for maybe $1 a card or less. Whereas somebody like Ken Griffey Jr. is probably $100 and $125 per card or more to get him to sign. So you're going to open a $200 box. You're going to get one auto, and it's likely going to be somebody like Connor Kaiser because your box has probably been CT scanned. And unless you're in the Good Old Boy Network or the Hobby Positivity crew, you've got no fucking chance. I mean, you've got to get really lucky to hit something. Really, 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 really lucky. And I think the people who have been around the hobby, they see this, they can just brush this off. Maybe they don't buy wax like I do. Maybe they don't buy no breaks. I think a lot of new people in this industry, they don't even remember $58 boxes. They don't even fucking remember $58 boxes. It's not just baseball, guys. Here's 2014 Topps Chrome Football. Same price, $56 a box. What's that set that's coming out in a couple days? Is it like composite football? It's like $225 a box. And it's unlicensed. Unfucking licensed football. They're going to be selling to you for $225 a box. Here is licensed football. This had Johnny Manziel in it. Johnny Manziel was one of the most hyped players to come along in a long fucking time. 2014 was Johnny Manziel year, so the hype really couldn't be any higher, and it was $56 a box. And now they're going to be selling you composite football boxes at $200 a hit. Then guess who will be lapping it up? Is these guys. Because they have to sell it. Because they have to sell it to you. So this has become a very, very interesting hobby. The people who give you the news are also the ones selling you the product. Maybe I should just fucking start doing breaks. God damn. Get $4,000 for a jumbo fucking box. What's a fucking jumbo box even cost? $400? 8 boxes in a case? $3,200? Before the promo code? Now, how these other places are able to break thing, how do I run this so cheaply? You're going to have to ask them. But it is interesting that there's such a large delta in price. And the common man, the common collector, the common buyer of sports cards, the guys who don't have any incentive, are starting to take notice and starting to complain. I've started to see it. I see it. I've started to feel it. And hey, when we're talking about $200 fucking boxes and you get one autograph, and this is Topps Chrome. This is supposed to be like a mid-tier product. This is just going to get worse and worse and worse. These products are going to get more and more expensive. It's going to become more and more of a gamble. You're going to be pushed to and incentivized to buy into breaks. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, especially in light of the news today that we found out that all you need is a $1,500 fucking CT scanner and a little technical expertise. And you can tell what's inside these packs and boxes and cases fairly easily. Like, it's not that complicated what these guys are doing. Whew, the Nationals going to be fun, y'all. Any of y'all going out to Cleveland? Better bring your bulletproof vest. Better bring your security guards. Better hope the internet works. Better hope the air conditioning works. Better hope you can get an Uber. Plan your travel out to the IX Center. I know everybody else in this industry, the advice they're going to give you is make sure you wear comfortable shoes. Shit. Make sure your cards are safe. And if you're headed out there, make sure you got a way to get back. Because it's going to be a fucking nightmare. And the IX Center in Cleveland is out in literally the middle of nowhere. And we heard through a little birdie that I guess one of the premier national hotels in downtown Cleveland hasn't had hot water for a couple weeks. So if you're traveling down to the Mistake by the lake, please enjoy yourself. We'll be on the beach in 34 days, ready for the Burbank Sports Card Show. You can see where we are willing to put our time and money. And you know what? Somebody sent me a tweet today. I didn't have time to put it up here. It looks like PSA is sending out a discount code for Fanatics Fest tickets. It wouldn't shock me if this is the Crickets convention. If this isn't exactly what people think. They're trying to make a Comic-Con for sports. Well, the people who go to sports stuff aren't as cool as those Comic-Con people. I've been to several Comic-Cons. It's fucking awesome. People dress up. Part of the fun is just seeing, other people and their costumes and who they're dressed up as, and people take pictures with them, and it's a whole scene. It's a whole culture. Sports doesn't have that. If you wear your Michael Jordan jersey, nobody fucking cares. If you wear a whole Lakers outfit, nobody's going to care. If you dress up as Bronny James, nobody fucking cares. So unless the experience, the show, and the other stuff that they have going on is really worth it, I don't know. I think this is going to be kind of boring. And if the building is really, really big, it could look really sparse and sparsely attended, which won't look good on social media, especially if Colin and I start ripping into it. So we will go live either on the 16th or the 17th after we take a couple laps around this thing and just see what it's really like. I'm starting to get a little worried because they're billing it as this Comic-Con, whereas that's not it, guys. Comic-Cons are actually fun, actually cool. The people who go, it becomes a real experience. They put a lot of effort into their costumes and getting there. People aren't going to do that for FedEx Fest. People are going to roll out of bed, not put deodorant on. CBHobby.com with the $99. He says Bronny James, a rookie of the year. Hey, he had a decent game last night, and I think for the 55th pick in the draft or whatever he was, he's not that bad. People don't want to hear this, but if Bronny James was 3 to 4 inches taller, the motherfucker would have been a lottery pick, like guaranteed lottery pick if he was 4 inches taller. Dude's just really, really short. He's way undersized to be playing in the NBA. Maxwell Lewis was a second-round pick of the Lakers last year, and I kind of like the guy. Dude's like 6'10", fits the part, looks the part. What are his summer league stats? So I kind of feel bad for Bronny James because he gets so much fucking attention because of his pops, and it's like, God damn, guys. Like if he was 3 inches taller, the motherfucker would have been a lottery pick. Without question. I mean, look at some of the scrubs that got fucking picked this year in the top 10. Summer League going on down in Vegas. So yeah, king of the triple single. But hey, if you're a 55th, the 55th pick in the draft, we'll take triple singles. How is he short? I mean, I think the mom is short. I think the mom is pretty short. I think that's why he's so short. Yeah, the draft was pretty bad last year. I heard that it's gonna ricochet the other way. I think the draft coming up, what would be the 2025 draft, is supposed to be lit and supposed to be on fire. So we'll see what that does to basketball cards this year. Although they'll be able to print Bronny James cards, and people will be after those. Now, I believe Bronny James is a Fanatics exclusive on the autograph side, so that'll make things interesting. You know, you'll get cards like this of Bronny James, but you're going to have to wait for Fanatics to create the autographs. All right, where's our fucking Kirk Cousins? God damn, $2,500. Yeah, I'd rather spend $2,500 on a fucking Kirk Cousins than buy into a break from CT Scan HQ and have the box that was CT scanned. $2,500 for a Kirk Cousins gold prism, baby. Woo! Hobby's just fine, baby. 13 for the Wemby, 1,000 for LeBron. That seems about right. Boy, several years ago, this and a BGS 10 holder would have commanded a premium. Now people look at this and just, it's a scrub. These, of course, probably won't get paid for, or Golden is going to have a very angry customer. You know, this is just a dumb idea from Topps. So horrible all the way around. Austin Reeves, the white power, baby, $134. And I was bidding on these cards. It looks like they got away from me a little bit. This one in it for $195. Not horrible, to be honest. Obviously very rare, hard to find a comp. I think I was earlier in the day trying to look for something on it. Looks like the blue ones have sold for $40 to $60. So a green one for $195 doesn't seem too bad. $289 for the Magic. That might be a little bit on the high end, but again, these aren't something that comes up every day. So types of cards that I kind of like to look at. But it is interesting the things that's going on in the industry and just the pricing that's getting out of control. And hey, it's not the dealer's fault. You could be the good old boy of the good old boy network, and you're going to be getting these. You know, if Topps is selling it for $199, nobody's getting these for $58 a box. You know what I mean? It just doesn't exist. I don't know how our boy I don't know how our boy's selling them for $190 over here with a promo code. This is incredible. I mean, I bet those went really fast because I don't know if I've seen a better price. Certainly not even on the Topps website. You can't even get a fucking better price. So it's interesting. It's hard for me to digest the high prices these days. It's very hard for me to digest because these are the prices I remember was $56 for these boxes wholesale. Then they wouldn't sell and then they'd go on clearance. I mean, I remember seeing 2014 Topps Chrome football for like $25, $30 a box at card shows. Half off wholesale when Manziel flopped out of the league. And the only good rookie was Odell Beckham Jr. in 2014. And it's possible we do see the return of clearance at some point because Topps made a ton of this and they may or may not be able to sell it all at $200 a box, which means at some point in the coming months, probably before the end of the year, they will have to discount this and dump this off to a DA Card World, a Blowout, a repacker, somebody. I don't know how Fanatics is going to do this. In previous years, all the dumped off inventory went to Adam Martin and DA Card World, went to Blowout Sports Cards, went to Steel City, maybe went to a distributor. That's where all the clearance inventory used to go. How will Fanatics donk off their $200 boxes will be interesting. And if I was buying boxes or if I was one of these group breakers, I'd be very interested in that because they're not every product's going to sell out. Not every product's going to be a home run. They're going to overprice a bunch of shit. They're going to overshoot the demand for it. and they're going to have to put it on clearance. Where does that go? Who does that go to? How long does that take? Is that after 90 days, 120 days, 6 months? How long does Topps sit on this shit? Probably less than a year. They've got to like jam this shit out into breakers and just jam this shit out into the community. Because what? Bowman Chrome will come out, what, in a couple months? Allen and Ginter, Bowman Platinum, fucking Bowman Sterling, fucking, they've got Topps Update Chrome, Sapphire, Bin Baller Edition, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's going to be another product they're selling you guys fucking next week, let alone the other sports. I think at some point it does catch up to the industry a little bit, and you are going to see some clearances. Like $40, you're going to be able to get these blasters for like $25 if they made too many of them, or less, maybe even less, maybe 15, maybe 10. Be interesting to see where Fanatics dumps off some of their clearance inventory. They were doing some of the stuff at Costco. Topps and Panini never used to do that. Sell shit to Costco, put it in a holiday box and sell it through Costco. So maybe Topps, they'll put all their loose packs and they'll make some kind of like little fucking special box for you guys and put it at Costco. And call it the Holiday Value Pack. 2 Topps Chrome packs, 2 Series 1 packs, 1 Topps Update packs, and this. And a silver pack. Can't wait. But guys, I don't know why nobody has called in to the CB Hobby Hotline. You guys must all be sitting back, smoking your doobies, drinking your beers, drinking your adult beverages, bidding on some cards, hitting the promo code. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I know exactly what you guys have bought, a CT scanner and now fucking scanning every single box and pack that you have to determine what is inside. And I wouldn't blame you. Honestly, if I had a fucking CT scan and I know how to fucking use this thing, I'd probably be using it too. Look at where they picked it up from. I mean, look, it's a fucking like, they picked it up in the RV park. So this isn't actually very sophisticated equipment. You do need to know how to use it. But this is not hard. In fact, I think at some point this guy talked about an award he won for scanning some old items, and he was able to determine what was inside. He actually won like some kind of award. So this dude knows what the fuck he's talking about in terms of the scanner, and he knows how to fix it. And after I watched it, I was very convinced. I mean, this thing is just, the view count on this is just going tick, 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 tick. I mean, I even left the comment. I was like, excellent fucking work. I mean, my God, this was amazing. And now it is all Pokemon, but we've seen from the likes of Neo Cards and Comics, from Dan the Card Man, and from others, that there was somebody on Instagram that did it with a flawless box. Oh boy. And they've been telling you for 2 years, oh, it's just all a conspiracy. It's all tinfoil hat. There's just no way for this to happen. There'd be no incentive for anybody to do this, guys. And shame on any of the tinfoil hat and the conspiracy guys who have ever brought this up, who have ever alluded at the possibility that this could fucking happen. Well, it's happening, guys. Let's go to the comments. Jakes Brooks with the 1999s. He says, bring the heat, boys. Wish me luck at Harrah's Lake Tahoe. Dang right. Great time to be there. Great time of year. Dave Snyder with the 999. He was wondering, Tim, will you still visit Dallas despite the card show heist? I think if anybody sponsored Tim, he'd head out to the Dallas card show. And I hope I'm not blowing up Tim's spot, but man, that boy sent me a text this week and he was having like lunch or brunch or drinks with 3 different women So we may have to get his comments on that. And if I'm allowed to, maybe I'll share the picture with some blurred out faces. But I think you guys will be impressed with our boy Tim. Big Fungus with the $5. He says, next week I need to call in and give you a boots on the ground national review. I will be in the trenches. Wish me luck. Well, we certainly wish you luck, and we certainly would love for you to call in next week. We will be live Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, which will be 8:30 p.m. national time. And so the show will probably be over or wrapping up, or trade night will be starting. And so anybody who attended the show, including Big Fungus, if you want to call in, give us your play-by-play, give us your thoughts. You know, what did you buy? What did you see? Who did you meet? Who did you mingle with? Was the internet working? Was the air conditioning working? Were there any thieves? Did the FBI show up? I mean, a lot can happen Wednesday and Thursday at the National. The National will be 2 days old by our next show. So who knows what we'll be talking about then? But please, anybody is more than welcome to call in next week and give us a rundown on what the fuck is happening in Cleveland. Eric Doyle with the $5. 2024 Topps Chrome Breaker Delight boxes are $500 for 12 cards, 2 autographs. That's like $40 a card. That's actually more than, if $40 a card would be $480. So hey, what's in those Breaker Delight boxes? I don't know. I don't know what's in those Breakers Delight boxes, but at $500 for 12 cards, Topps Chrome. I mean, we're not even talking about flawless or impeccable or immaculate or national treasures or dynasty or transcendent or a museum collection or, you know, some of these high-end brands that have and already been expensive. This is fucking Topps Chrome that used to be $56 a box wholesale, and they couldn't even give it away. It was clearanced 6 months later. The hobby has changed, and even I'm trying to adjust to it because it's hard for me. I remember 10 years ago like it was yesterday. I remember these boxes being $50, like it was yesterday. And now they're $200. What the fuck is a high-end brand going to cost? And now supposedly these Breaker Delight box, is that fucking right? I got to look this up. Holy shit. Is that right? Breaker's Delight box, $500. Of course they don't want to fucking tell you the breakdown because they don't want you to fucking know what's inside of here. They don't really want you to fucking know what's inside the box and what do you really get. They want to leave that a mystery. They don't want to release a checklist. They don't want to tell you what's inside. I mean, it used to be easy to determine how. You used to get 36 packs per box and 10 cards per pack. It was like that fucking easy to determine. Now we don't even fucking know. Two autographs a box, $500. What the fuck are y'all paying for? Here are the rookies. Ellie De La Cruz. He was a rookie last year. Jackson Holiday isn't even in the fucking major leagues yet. Neither is our boy Jason Dominguez. Not to say that they couldn't do. Our boy Jung-Hoo Lee is on the injured list out here in San Francisco. We haven't seen him in 3 months because he got hurt. Wow. Now, I did see that you could pull some special autographs out of here, some veteran autographs out of the Breakers Delight boxes, but man, this is what the hobby is after. It hard for me to digest because these boxes used to be $50. Now they're $500. I don't know. What are you supposed to do if you're a guy like this Major Bones and you're a guy like this Dizzle AZ and you're like, fuck it, I just can't do this anymore. I open a box, it's been CT scanned, and I get a fucking Connor Kaiser autograph, who was DFA'd after 3 games last year with the Rockies, no less. I mean, I might be able to get some at-bats with the fucking Rockies. I don't know. And I think this frustration is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And there's going to be a huge disconnect from the people who have to sell this stuff and pump this stuff and the regular everyday Joe collector who can speak his mind freely on social media. Like, you're not going to see Geoff Wilson or CardCollector2 ever, throw Topps under the bus and say this stuff is too expensive. I think even the quote today from Teapot about Topps Chrome Baseball, I think his direct quote was, "Hey, I'm not going to say anything bad about it." So there you go, right? I'm not going to say anything bad about it. So the people who are bringing you the news are also responsible for selling the product and have a relationship with the manufacturer. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough industry. I think it's going to get tougher. I mean, you can go over to the card ladder indexes and, whether it's year-to-date pricing and literally none of the indexes are up except football. If you do 1 year price change, none of the indexes are up. Literally none of them. So card prices have declined despite the fact that you have repackers at every show willing to pay 80 to 90% blindly on some of these cards. The only thing showing signs of strength is this industry is the gambling, is the gambling aspect of this hobby and the people who feed into it. I mean, there's fucking 31 breakers right here with a jumbo box. Most will probably open, I don't know, how many cases of jumbo? 5, 10, maybe some might open 50. Maybe some might open 100. I think I saw a guy trying to sell 100 case break of Topps Chrome Baseball. 100 cases. And he couldn't sell it. So if you get any slippage in the economy, boy, there's a lot of been going on in the political world. If you get any slippage in the economy or the way people spend their discretionary money, it could continue to hurt the sports card market, which has been undeniably been in decline for the last 3 to 4 years. Remember, there was all this talk. What was it? Like, I think it was even last year where all these motherfuckers were trying to predict the bottom. Remember that? Even Geoff Wilson did that. Has the sports card market hit a bottom? I mean, this is from 2 weeks ago. Here's AIH Sports. He did a response to Sports Card Investor saying the bottom is in. This was a year ago. This was this is over a year ago. This is January 10th, 2023. Jeff's title of his video said the bottom is here, almost. Why cards will soon go up again. You have repackers blindly buying shit at 80 to 90%. And nobody can look you dead in the face and tell you, oh, my fucking sports card portfolio has gone up in value in the last 15 months, 12 to 15 months. Whose cards would you have had to have? Maybe Caitlin Clark? Like, whose fucking cards went up? Whose cards are up in the last 12 to 15 months? Not even Ohtani. Ohtani's are probably down in the last 12 months. Especially if you count selling fees. that if you actually went to sell these cards, you would be lopped off 10 to 15 to 20%. Now, you could travel to the Mistake by the Lake and sell these cards for cash to a repacker, but he or she's only going to give you 80 to 90%. So remember that? The sports card bottom was in 15 months ago. No, it's not. We got a long, long, long way to go because people aren't tired of the Topps bullshit yet. They're going to get tired of the Michael Rubin Topps bullshit. $500 for 12 cards and 2 autographs. Eventually, they will get tired of this. Eventually, they'll push the gambling button a little too far, and they won't be able to sell it all. Or you'll have a bunch of group breakers who will buy all this stuff, probably on credit, not be able to break it, not be able to sell it. So I would be concerned. I would be worried if I was somebody who, on a whims created a 14,000 square foot hobby shop. I'd be worried. I don't know if I'd be worried if I was one of these 32 breakers, because you might have a clientele that has an appetite for gambling and is willing to come back for more. Or you could be like Filth Bomb and have one customer that props you up. A lot of these group breakers are propped up by like 1 or 2 whale customers, and then have a few other people who buy into these breaks. And what if these whales that you depend on, the Tom Petty's son, the people like Tom Petty's son, who's a group break whale, buys into a lot of, I don't know if he still does, but he used to buy into a ton of breaks. I mean, that boy propped up the group break industry fucking before the boom. What if Tom Petty's son finds out that you can CT scan these boxes? And how will he feel about that? Will that make him want to dig into his dad's inheritance fund and buy into some more breaks? So I personally think probably we saw in the last 2 weeks some of the biggest stories in all of sports cards. The Dallas Card Show heist, $2 million stolen in cards, stolen from the Dallas Card Show. No suspects, no leads at all, despite clear video footage. Not shocked at all. Not saying that they aren't going to solve the case, but it certainly ain't going to happen fast. That's not the way law enforcement typically moves. Unless there's like a manhunt, a kidnapping, an Amber Alert, or O.J. Simpson's in the Bronco driving down the 405. Then that might crank up a police response. Some dorks getting their cards stolen at a fucking card show. You're going to probably have to solve that crime. And there's a good chance that those guys in the video hightailed their ass off to Mexico or some other fucking country. They probably maybe don't even live in this country. So good luck doing anything about that then. But we've had 2 of the biggest sports card stories, I think, in the last couple of weeks. We had the Dallas Card Show heist, and we have this not only trickling out in the sports card world, but the Pokemon community as well, which will make this even a bigger story. If Pokemon people start getting worried about it, oh God, it'll just trickle right over to sports cards. And you got everybody and their brother right now looking for a CT scanning machine. Bet somebody $1,000 there's a CT scanning machine at Backyard Breaks. Bet anybody $1,000 right now. Let's book it. Bet you some of your favorite breakers have CT scanning machines, because they've known about this for a long time. This dude knew about it for 3 years. And I don't know about enough about the Flawless case that got open, but my guess is this guy has been working on it for a long time. And this is something that's been percolating for quite a long time, that people knew that this was possible. And we are just now finding out about this. But if you're like Hobby Hero over on Sports Card Investor, we just shouldn't even be talking about this, guys. Like, God, I just wish we didn't know about this so that so that it wouldn't put it in people's heads and that y'all just keep being dumb as fuck and buy into these fucking stupid breaks at fucking $400 a hit. I just wish y'all would be naive as fuck and just keep buying into these breaks. That's what they're telling you. That's what he told you. Or you're like Teapot and it's like, oh God, I wish Panini, who we haven't heard from in, it seems like a decade, will fucking step up and do something so that they can make their flawless box not read on a CT scan. Does that sound like something that's even in this dimension that would happen? I'll bet anybody $1,000 that never happens. Panini never makes something so that their boxes aren't CT scannable. That never fucking happens. So clearly I'm fired up. Another thing that was fired up were the people who sent me merch ideas. We will make sure to talk about those maybe on another show when the guys get back and we can talk about maybe making shirts or making merch. For me, it's like, how many shirts could I have to sell to make a lot of money? So it's not something I'm going to get out of bed and be like, I can't wait to make some fucking sports card radio shirts so I can make $2 a shirt on 50 shirts. Honest to God, I'd rather just scan a bunch of cards with listing software and fucking make money that way. Hell of a lot easier. But there is some interest in some shirts. Honestly, if Mary Gamble called me and wanted to do a collab, boy, we'd have some shirts out the next day. But eventually we'll have a shirt grift and hopefully we'll sell some. David Snyder's, can a local citizen request the Health and Safety Board to conduct random inspections of businesses to check for CT machine? Signed to the Attorney General. Well, just like the cops in Dallas, any law enforcement ain't going to give a fuck about what you guys are spending on these sports cards or the scams that are involved in this. This hobby isn't even capable of policing its own scammers. So the police or the FBI or an outside entity, the government, they're not going to come in and regulate it. We're not even capable of doing it ourselves. The people who bring up scams get down talked and get lawsuit threats. And if I call Kurt's Card Care a sexual offender or make a joke about his physical appearance, that becomes the topic instead of what Kurt's Card Care is doing to deceive people on $7,300 cards in fourth tier slabs. More people care about that I called Kurt's Card Care a sexual offender than what this motherfucker is doing to his cards. Period. That's the hobby. That's the hobby. They deserve that the last 2 weeks have been filled with negative news because they're not capable of weeding out scammers. They're not capable of setting standards. They're not capable of following them. Everybody's trying to bend the rules. Everybody's trying to rub a little fucking juice on their Jordan. Everybody's trying to fucking weigh their box. It used to be you just weighed the box and if it had a big patch card, it was heavier. Or you could even back in the day, I remember back in the 2000s, you could just fucking you could just feel the packs. And I remember it wasn't always the thick packs that had stuff inside. Fleer Ultra used to have fresh ink autographs. Well, those were thinner than the regular cards. So you could literally squeeze all the packs together and there's the thinnest pack in the box. That has the autograph in it. This has been going on for decades, whether weighing boxes or feeling the packs or fucking looking at them in a certain way. Well, now they're just x-raying them. And you have guys like Geoff going over here and be like, well, the only person that could do this is Adam Martin at DA Card World, and he's super trustworthy. Guys, I could do a 2-hour show on all the shady shit that DA Card World and Adam Martin has done. From the stuff I know that Adam Martin has said while he was drunk at an industry event, let alone what I could dig up from a former employee. Adam Martin will be the first guy in a private setting to tell you, but man, back 10 years ago, this industry was super underhanded. And boy, to get ahead, you had to kind of do some shady stuff. But no, you have Geoff over here talking about, oh, he's really trustworthy, so just keep buying your boxes. Just ignorant, naive, fucking idiots. But oh God, heaven forbid if I say something mean about Geoff and his little loan that he got. He'll run to the couch and he'll tell you who's positive and who negative. And then he'll have people who do. Ty Wilson of Chasing Cardboard ran to his little tractor and he said, CardCollector2 is good, and that person's good, and that person's good, and that guy is bad. Fine. You guys deserve getting fucking robbed. You guys deserve going to third-rate locations like the fucking Atlantic City and Cleveland. Boy, some of you guys going to Cleveland for the first time next week, be sure to call into Sports Card Radio next week. I want to hear from you. And don't tell me the suburbs are nice. I don't want to fucking hear it. I can go to some suburbs of Stockton that fucking have $1.5 million homes. Okay. We all can go to the suburbs and show some nice pictures. Go to the hood and tell me what it's like. Try to get an Uber at 5:00 from the IX Center and let me know how that went. Jason Moran with the $2. He says, we need Colin. How does CardCollector2 pull 5 1-of-1s in 2 weeks? I have no idea. I have no idea. They were either CT scanned, they were fed to him. It's really not that complicated. There's incentive for these companies to make sure that whoever's breaking on Fanatics Live or whoever the golden boy is to pull a big card so that you guys run and buy more boxes, because you watch the CardCollector2 video and you're like, oh, I got to go buy some myself. The Hobby with Cage had a great video today. He was talking about his son, and I don't know how old his son is, but he's probably pretty young. You know what his son told him? He said, Dad, why don't we buy from Mama Breaks? If that doesn't show you the power of influence, then I don't know what does. Kids don't know fucking CT scans from loaded boxes to good old boys to this. They don't know shit about any of that. But they know about looking on social media, and they know who's popular, and they know who pulls the best stuff. There's plenty of incentive for Fanatics or for Tops to make sure that at least, hey, in the first couple weeks, some big cards come out. What was it? Michael Rubin and Antoine Griezmann, who I believe is a famous soccer player, and the CEO of Topps, they opened up, like, what was it, a box of Bowman Sterling or Topps Sterling, and they pulled a fucking Jackie Robinson autograph and like a Mike Trout autograph. How convenient, right? You could have big star soccer player in for this high profile break with Michael Rubin, and they could have pulled fucking Joe Blow and Joe Dickhead, and nobody would have cared. So I would say wake up, but I don't think people care. I don't think people care. They just want to turn their Jordan from a 6 to an 8. They just want to gamble like this is a MGM slot machine. And the urge to gamble, the urge to maybe hit that big card or to maybe turn your 6 to an 8 is too large. It's too big. It's too strong. And there's nobody capable of weeding out scammers in this industry. You could just go to the comments of our video. If we talk about Geoff, if we talk about CardCollector2, if we talk about Kurt's Card Care, it's me getting lit up about me personally attacking him. So what's the point of me ever making a fucking video? There's no point at all. None. Unless I just want to grift and make a couple $100 from ad revenue. No point in me, no point at all. I'd rather just scan fucking cards. Because my Rolo machine doesn't talk back to me. My scanner doesn't fucking talk back to me. My customers on eBay don't fucking talk shit on me. Listing software, if you didn't catch that part of the program, is the most worth it thing I've ever used in this whole hobby. Card Ladder is not worth $15. Market Movers isn't worth whatever it is, $10, unless you have to look up a lot of cards. I'm only subscribed to Card Ladder so that I can fuck around and show some things on this video. Rarely have. I looked up the Bill Cartwright today, but I could have easily done that on eBay, on Golden, on some other site. I could have found these prices somewhere else. Looks like they sold on Check Out My Cards, so I could have found that data. I have Terapeak on eBay that goes back 2 years. Card Ladder's not worth it. Market Movers isn't worth it. I'm trying to think of what other subscriptions there are on the sports card world. Not worth it. If you're trying to list thousands of cards and maybe even thousands of cards per day, whew, this is the most worth it thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And so I think they're all about the same. I'm not going to say which one I'm using unless I get equity in a board seat, but they're probably, frankly, all about the same and do about the same thing. And they're worth every penny. And hopefully there's more innovations in this space because, getting cards organized, getting cards listed, that's going to foster more collecting, more collectors and more people interested in sports cards if they're able to acquire cards cheaply through people listing them in this particular manner. So, and like I said, you could get a whole business going for $1,200 or less. What other business could you start in sports cards for $1,200 or less? That includes an $855 scanner. If you had to buy a computer, you might be able to still do this for less than like $1,700 if you buy a cheap computer. You don't need some kind of high-powered computer. Incredible pieces of innovation, and I'm excited to keep using these things. It's what I've been doing the last several days. Been listing a lot of cards and figuring out that process, and so it's a lot of fun. So I am headed to Arizona. Which listing software is the best? I'm not going to say because I'm not here to say that. I'm not here to say that. They're all probably about the same, quite frankly. Some of them might do slightly different things, but they're all probably about the same. And they actually all cost about the same price as well. So I might, if I were somebody out there interested in these, I would give probably a couple of them a try. And there's tons of good videos on this. There's a little bit of time. You've got to set up your scanner. You've also, with the software that I'm using, you kind of had to tweak it a little bit to get the titles on the listings the way I wanted to get the description on eBay the way I wanted to. But you're able to list potentially thousands of cards per day by yourself with no help, no employees, no fucking 14,000 square foot warehouse. Thousands of, like, how many cards does Geoff have on his fucking website, guys? His fucking beloved fucking website that was supposed to change, what was this? Innovate retail or change retail. He has 2,300 listings on his website. Guys, I have 2,800 listing on eBay. How do I have more listed on eBay than this motherfucker? Probably because he's not using listing software. Because he's trying to just list this stuff on his own. So you can list hundreds, if not thousands, of cards per day in less than a few hours. And it's only 50 to 60% accurate. If the fucker got more accurate, holy shit, guys. I don't understand why there are 31 people trying to break cards. Maybe this is lucrative. Maybe all these people are balling and they've got Rolexes and they've got private jets or whatever the fuck they got going on. But to me, the easier money is actually playing, and you're buying cards that nobody wants. I went and bought $200 worth of cards at a card show this past weekend. Nobody fucking wanted those cards. There was no competition. There was nobody willing to pay 80% or 90% and this and that. No, it was a box of fucking basketball cards that he had priced at 50 cents each. And I offered him $200 for a box and a half of them. Nobody wanted those cards. Most of you probably have cards that your wife wants you to get rid of, and for less than $1,200, you could literally get a business going. But if you have any experience with any of these software tools, if you have any advice for me, let me know, because I mean, I'm only up to a few thousand listings, but I can see the pathway where I'm like, wow, no employees, you could list hundreds, if not thousands of cards per day with no employees, let alone if you trained some motherfucker for $10 an hour on one of these things. You could list all your cards remotely. You could scan all your fucking cards, and you could have Timbuktu in Taiwan fucking listing the cards for you if you trained him on it. Because he could, these softwares, you don't need the fucking physical card in front of you to list it. Scan the card, put it in your inventory, and have somebody else list it. So there's a real way to scale up a business here, especially if you wanted to spend some money or advertise. I mean, imagine if this show was sponsored by my eBay listings, and I just blasted my fucking eBay listings the whole night. So it's exciting for me, especially when I was a little apprehensive about using it. And then it's not plug and play out of the box. I had to watch several videos to figure out how it worked. But then once I was like, holy shit, this shit's like 50% accurate. And there are a lot of people who would be like pissed off about that. Be like, what the fuck? It fucking says it's silver when it's hyper. Nah, 50%. It's good enough for me. And if it gets a little better, holy fucking shit. So exciting times for me, and exciting times for the sports card world, unless you're selling boxes and you're worried about them being CT scanned. Sorry, Ryan, but American jobs should stay in America. Well, I mean, unfortunately, that's just not the way it is anymore. All your clothing gets made in China. I actually like cheap stuff. I don't mind fucking having a trade agreement with China because I actually like cheap stuff. If people want things made in America, then fine. Everything's going to be $10, $20 more than it is now, because out in California, what's the minimum wage out here? I actually like cheap stuff. So I got no problem doing trade deals with China. So we shall see. But if you like expensive stuff, then yeah, fucking let's make sure everything's made in America. I don't trust the listing software. I mean, I don't trust. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be worried about that. I'd be worried about these guys who are telling you that fucking none of this is a big deal. That's who I wouldn't trust. You get to, I mean, at the end of the day, you determine what gets listed on eBay. You get to hey, it doesn't spit out of the card 50% of the time. Well, guess what? You get to correct that. You get to pull down a drop-down box in a lot of cases and put that it's a hyper prism instead of a silver. But the time it takes you to correct the listing software is way less time than if you fucking put that card in a scanner, did it, went to eBay, found the card you needed to list, blah, 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 created a title, blah, 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 clicked, was it not graded, near mint condition, free shipping, typed in your price. You're wasting 30 seconds to a minute per listing. And then if you're listing 1,000 things per day, we're talking about hours of time this saves for being 50% accurate. Bitcoin Tahoe says, I don't trust Obama's internet. That's right. Hey, if you get an Obama phone, you got to be worried. Is the FBI going to be watching? 50%. Yeah, you're 100%, but to list 100 listings takes you probably an hour more than it would take me. So I don't know how you value your time. I value my time. Like you know what I mean? At some point, and then if you want to scale like a very large business, if you want 1 million listings, you're going to really sit there and individually list 1 million cards on eBay? Fuck no, you're not. You're going to get burnt out or tired before that. Plus, you could train somebody literally in Timbuktu, Taiwan on the software who maybe marginally knew about cards. Try to train somebody to individually list sports cards on eBay with no listing software, with no help. Good fucking luck with that. I trust myself 100% of the time too, but if you're trying to scale a business, like, you have to use these tools. Like, you have to. And they're good enough. And we could time it out. You could list 100 cards, list 100 cards on eBay compared to using listing software. Whew. We could be talking about an hour or more. All right, guys, that's enough. I've fucking talked way too much. I've got shit to do. I got to pack up. Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. Make sure your boxes aren't CT scanned. You can head over to cbhobby.com where your boxes are CT scan free. These prices are fucking unbelievable. I mean, if this was in stock, I would have just like clicked all of them and just fucking bought them all. $2,400 for a case. 10% off with a promo code. CT scan free. We will be here next week with the full gang. I imagine the full gang will be back. Colin and Tim will be back. And if you are at the National and you want to call in, please, we want to hear from you. Good or bad. You don't have to come on and roast the thing. You can come on and say you had the time of your life. And I would believe you, because it will be amazing. And for $25 to get in, fuck, there's no better bargain in America than $25 to get into the National. Now, getting there, staying at a hotel, little different story if you live 4 hours away like I do. But we want to hear from you next week. We hope to hear from you. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. And we'll see you next fucking week. Here's the little throwback version.
B-side on the beat.
Well, God dang it.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. Did you dip, Geoff? I think you dipped, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay, he's getting money. Even better, tax-free, loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit. Geoff Wilson. You ruin the hobby I love with your bullshit.
Crazy. One more time. Wait. Here it is. That was good.
Up in the millions, like 2.3, but Geoff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on card stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, so you're
Why does this suffer so much?
you ruin the hobby I love. you did, Geoff. I think you did, Geoff. What you talking about? I don't think you did, yeah. Well, you still shady shit like the Gobies, like it's Hall of Fame with an NFT. Taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money, even better, tax-free. Loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson.
Peace the fuck out.